Hello, you wonderful dreamers. As you'll be able to hear from the slightly different microphone quality we've got, we are on the road, which means no normal video production for at least this week. So I thought I'd use this opportunity to talk a little bit about some other stuff that's going on, some little questions, and some other neat stuff I found. So the first thing to mention is that there's not going to be a fan game bingo this week. This is because I don't have access to a decent enough internet connection that would allow me to do any kind of streaming like that. But in case you're not aware of that, I might as well just reiterate it in this video. The idea is that every Thursday at 9 we will do Fangame Bingo, unless for some reason I have to cancel it. So get it in your calendar, get it in your diary, get your PA to remind you closer to the time. One thing I'm using the time this week to try and explore is if there's going to be an easier way to do the streaming chat, because one problem that I have at the moment is with the restreamer chat. Now, if you've been tuning into Fangame Bingo, you'll have noticed that it's been giving me some grievances when it doesn't work. Sometimes it locks up, sometimes it just doesn't refresh. I think it's just not going to work in the long term. So what I'd like to do is explore some other ways of doing it. Now, Discord has some pretty nice stuff you can use when it comes to streaming and chat and things like that. So part of me is tempted to just move everything into Discord and be done with it. The one problem with that though is that people on mobile devices where you can only really have the streaming application open, that doesn't really work. So you've then got the problem of, right, well, you would then have what, three different chat spaces, the one on Twitch, the one on YouTube, and the one on Discord, which is all really not great. I wouldn't want it to be that disconnected. I'd prefer it all to be in one place, and I'd prefer it to be a bit more immediate than having to wait for the 7 seconds or whatever and see it on the stream. So part of what I'm trying to do this week is investigating, is it possible to merge these somehow, perhaps using a bot in both Twitch and YouTube that would then replay the comments in Discord, so everyone would be able to talk to everyone. It would also, I guess, need to replay the comments on Twitch from YouTube and vice versa. Possibly quite a large technical undertaking, but I'm game for. I'm game for a challenge. I've had a look into the specifics of it. I mean, in theory, it seems possible. The YouTube API for doing this sort of thing looks a little bit kind of crap, gotta say, compared to the Twitch one, which is essentially just a fancy IRC channel. YouTube's one does look like it's a bit of a dog. But hey, I'm going to experiment. We'll see what we could do. Possibly more than I can get done in a week. But hey, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? It would be great to know what you guys think about this. If there's a solution you know about to this problem that I've missed, or if you have a preference one way or the other, if you don't mind the chat being 7 seconds delayed, if as long as it's stable, let me know in the comments. Next thing is I want to try and improve a little bit of how people can interact with the streams. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the Fangame Bingos every time, anyone who wants to come and chat live on the stream, absolutely welcome to do so. It would make my heart leap hearing your voices. Obviously, Dame and others have showed up over the various episodes, which has always been a pleasure. But anyone's welcome. You don't have to come and talk for 2 hours. You can come and say hello. You can come and just, say something rude. I don't mind. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with. But one of the problems at the moment, as was experienced by Dame in the two fan game bingos ago, I think bingos, is that correct? Experience was that she doesn't have any audio. So one thing I want to try and do is sort that. I have an idea of how to do that using some old mixer equipment that I've got and possibly another microphone. It's going to be a little bit kind of a Rube Goldberg contraption to try and get this working, but I have a theory, and if I can get it working, I think it's going to make that a lot better. Because obviously the one thing that I do is while people are on the line, if they want to see the screen in real time, set up a Skype conversation so they can see my screen rather than have the delayed Twitch stream. So I want to try and beef that up a little bit so that it works a little bit better and it's a bit more robust going forward. And finally, it's a little interesting project that I found while I was trying to wire up a bunch of somewhat unrelated ideas in my head. Some time ago, I learned about a project called ASM.js, which is sort of an intermediate language allowing programs that were originally written in, say, a lower level language like C to run in your web browser. Now, this has been already used to some interesting ends. You can run Doom in your browser, which of course makes me very, very happy puppy. It's actually quite interesting from a programming perspective because anything that is traditionally built targeting a computer can now be run in the browser, and it actually runs pretty well. The performance is overall quite satisfying, and it's interesting to think about in a way because this is software that's been built to run on a computer, which is now running very well in a web browser. And someone who's as fucking nerdy as me, that's quite mind blowing. But one thing I got quite curious about was what else could be done with it. Now, those of you who do hang around the Yumi Nikki fandom may be aware of a piece of software called Easy RPG Player. Easy RPG Player allows you to play RPG Maker 2000 titles outside of the normal RPG Maker runtime, which is quite cool. People have ported it to tablets and phones and all sorts, so you can play Yuminiki on devices that are not just a PC anymore. But what I got quite curious about was if it would be possible, since Easy RPG Player is a open source application, to run that in your browser. Turns out someone's already done this. I'm going to include the link in the description. I have no idea if people massively know about this. I hadn't really seen too much discussion of it. It's not completely perfect. There's some little oddities that happen with it. But yeah, someone, I'm not sure who at this point, has spent the time and ported the Yuminiki assets to Easy RPG Maker and hosted it on the web in this nscript-n asm.js environment, and it's pretty cool. I certainly don't think it's the ideal way to play Yumi Nikki. I think if you are suggesting it to people, don't point them at this, get them to download it and set it up properly. But it's certainly an interesting way to do things. Certainly I've had fun mucking around with it. It also makes me think if you've got a fan game or something and you've made it for RPG Maker 2000, it's possibly not as limited to that platform as you might think. It might be quite easy to get it into the web. So yeah, that's quite good fun. So that's kind of it for me, really. Expect things to go back to normal next week. Sorry for the lack of content this week, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next stream.